Punishments. So last topic is on this intercell interference coordination. So intercell interference coordination gives information or it avoids this interference in the network. Okay. And to avoid these things, we have multiple options we have. So will be discussing today. So in cellular network, used user equipment suffer intercell interference due to the frequency reuse in other cells. So as we have observed that there is a common channel and this channel will be used for transmission of the data. And other devices also will be actively present. So we are making use of the same frequency for transmission of data. And when you are transmitting multiple, means when multiple devices are transmitting data using the same frequency, then there is a possibility of an interference occurrence. And majorly, there will be a possibility of high interference which is going to present. So to avoid this interference, what are the procedures we need to follow? So to meet spectral efficiency target, ELTE will be deployed with universal frequency reuse. This will cause a high level of ICI, especially for user equipment at this edge. Therefore, ICI control techniques, uplink and downlink must be applied so that we can reduce the interference. See, we cannot remove the interference, but obviously we can reduce the interference. To reduce this interference, which are the methods we have to follow? Right. So downlink we have to follow some methodology and uplink we have to follow some methodology. Here in this downlink kind of a thing, first thing we have this randomization, then we have this cancellation, and then we have this coordination and avoidance. Okay. Yesterday we had a discussion on this part, downlink part. So today we will be going with the uplink. So randomization, why we do is that because we need to make to the synchronize with the server part and to the device part. So there should be a synchronization or a randomization which should occur so that you will be receiving appropriately the data whatever I have transmitted. Okay. So for you also now, if I take an example of this Teams, right? So I am having Wi-Fi, sorry, Ethernet cable which I'm connected, which I'm using to transmit the data. But at the receiver end, that is at the downlink layer end, your end, whether that network facility is there or not, that also you should take care. And if that network it is not there, then obviously you will be having some glitches of receiving the data appropriately. Maybe in my slides are moving properly, correctly, and everything it is clear, right? But your end, if there is a network issue or if there is a frequency, if multiple people are transmitting, then what happens again? There will be a delay for you to receive what I am transmitting the data, and that will be a problem over in this type of network. So only we follow this randomization, which will synchronize your devices with the server so that you have a proper downloading of the data from this server. Then we have ICA cancellation. So cancellation means unwanted data or the neighboring information which is not required, that you can directly cancel it, because usually we call it as a pop-up, right? Which you will be getting. So that pop-up you are going to be disabling so that interference will be not present. Then coordination and avoidance. So yesterday I was speaking about that carrier sends multiple access. So you are going to see whether the channel is free or not, then you are able to transmit the data. So that also you can follow in this intercell interference. Okay. So this intercell interference coordinates can again be divided into subpart, which is static ICA coordination avoidance, where static frequency, fractional frequency reuse is provided. Right. So usually what it is that for 24 bar 7, what we call network is not needed, right, for our mobile phone and all those things. Now what is happening in the real time is that, so our network it will be always on, right? So from morning till I sleep, my network will be on. Rarely I will be switching off the my internet. When was the last time? Right. So earlier we were using for only certain duration of time. So when I want to send a mail, I would have mobile data on, then I would have transmitted. Now what is happening? Once morning if I on, till night it will be on only. Why? Because all my data transmission I am going to go with these type. So earlier this static fractional frequency or FFR was used, but now it is been removed. Now it is not there. More from morning to evening means we are transmitting the data continuously. There is no hop by hop transmitting of a information. This is mainly done during the cell planning process and does not require frequent reconfiguration. So every time when I'm connecting, I'm not going to use username and password yesterday, which I had shown to you. Right. Semi-static IC configuration, it is for again for the X2 interfaces which I have to done. And this again, it is with respect to the sharing information with the neighboring nodes and providing the update information to the node. How much this all process why we have to do is that we are making sure that our neighboring point who is taking our information, that information should be successfully reached. That is the main thing. So third point, you can see that to assist ICI coordination avoidance, LTE defines BS power restriction signaling in downlink, which in turn has a relative narrowband transmit power. Right. So when I am transmitting only, I will be aware of how much power it is going to take, and that I will restrict. Okay. The best example is that, so if I know my usually what they do is that, so what is the charge, how much amount it will take from for me to reach from Mathigere to college will be around 25 to 30 rupees, right? And if I take pass and all those things, it will be around 70 or 80 rupees, whatever it is. So nominal amount, if I take it is around 100 rupees. So 100 rupees is sufficient for me to travel from my home to college. Right. So if I ask for more money, then there is a doubt, right? So it is relatively that. So how much power is required? That much if you sufficiently give, then you will have no issues. If you give more power or less power, then 100% successful, it will be not happening. That is the meaning what is to trying to tell you. Right. Coordinated multi-point transmission. Right. So this is also one point which is there in LTE to further improve the cell edge performance. Advanced technique with more sophisticated coordination will be developed for ICI mitigation. One such technique is called as the coordinated multi-point transmission reception. So downlink coordination, multi-point transmission reception implies dynamic coordination among multiple geographical separated transmission points. So one of the technique which they give here is that I wanted to transmit my information to the destination. So I am not dependent on only one person. I am completely not dependent on that person to carry my information to the destination. So what I do, I want my information to be reached to the destination by somehow. So what I will do, I will transmit my data into multiple receptions. That is why this we call it as a multi-point. And we will observe that whether it is been because we see about the downloading of a torrents. Okay. So torrents also now what has happened? Everywhere you can observe that it is starting in between only. And finally after sometimes it will be completed. So there is no exact point that it should start from the beginning only. Right, that is the thing which you have to apply. This it can be deployed in the form of a coordinated shelling and beamforming on a multi-cell joint transmission. Joint transmission can eliminate all the ICI and transfer the cellular network from interference. Now this is what is saying that it is on rough basis he has identified. But joint transmission will have more power related issues. Okay. Interference also it will be present. But why here interfaces is not identifying because you are going to send in the sequence number and that also data will be sent in a different packets. See, there are two ways. One information you are transmitting differently, same information you are transmitting through different points. This is one method. One more method, what we have to do is that information you are going to split into multiple, and these multiple splitted information will be carried by different person to reach to the destination. Okay. Now that is what the second point which I have discussed is speaking about that point. Okay. Always don't think that one information is there, I am giving to one person, he is carrying that complete information to the destination. If you follow this procedure, then you will be having a error and duplication of the data. Right. But what we or what this LTE channel will do is that it will take information, split into multiple packets, and these packets will be transmitted by the different points to reach the destination. That is what he is trying to do here. Deploying this multi-point will have a great impact on the radio interface specification, such as the feedback, inter-signal, downlink control, and reference signal. This was the interference with respect to the downlink. So what are the problems we are facing in the interfacing of a downlink pack? Now next part is for the uplink. When I am uploading my information or when I am transmitting information, then what are the steps or how to neutralize this interference? So these are the steps they have given. So the basic approach for uplinks ICE mitigation are as follows. First one is again randomization is required for that scrambling encoded data should be randomizedly picked and it should be transmitted. UE specific scrambling is used in uplink as ICA comes from multiple UE in neighboring cells. One more part is your cancellation is applicable in uplink than in downlink as a base station has higher computational capability. One more parameter what you have to observe is the power control. Okay, so power control is the important parameter in the uplink. Is an effective way to suppress ICI in the uplink. Fractional power control unit is used. So there also for you might be observed that when I'm taking an antenna, for that antenna, it will be specifically written what is the transmitter power, what is the uh, bit rate which is going to take place. So everything it will be clearly mentioned there. So why it is given? Because we wanted to transmit at this rate so that it will reach successfully. That is the overall concept of this what power concept is telling. And same one more concept which is there your ICI coordination and our avoidance, which is nothing but we have X2 power indicator, we have overload indicator, we have high interference indicator here. So why these indicators they are providing? Because you need to tell that what is happening, what is the status of the present data transmission, what is going to take place. So OI is nothing but your overhead indicator. So overhead indicator physical layer measurement is the average uplink interference and noise. Usually now the equipment are so updated that the interference generation will be very less. And also one more thing is that these reference signal or frequency value which is going to have, we are going to use for only one time. So multiple times you are not going to use same data for the transmission. So that is one advantage which you have. Now you can observe for your mobile phone and all those things. What generally I say that if there is a screen issue to repair that one, you will be paying around 2000 to 3000. Right? Just example, my laptop screen issue was there. So for laptop screen, original if I ask, it is around 7 to 7,500. And if I want with full, he's charging me around 18,000. For 18,000, a normal decent laptop only I can buy. That is a thing which you have. Right? For iPhone and everything, if you pay 60,000 also, and then if screen goes for that screen only, you are paying around 10 to 12,000. Instead of that one, you will get one a new handset only. Right? So HII indicator is nothing but your high interface indicator, which is used for the cell because cell adjusts where it is present, how much it is in the coverage area, for how many devices it can serve. So these are all things it will be indicated by this high interference indicator. Neighboring cells may then take this information into consideration when scheduling their own users to avoid high interference. And the last coordinated multi-point reception. Okay. So as we have the coordinated multi-point transmission and reception, This is only for the reception, where you are going to have the feedback from the devices or any data is lost, how you are going to give that feedback to that server part and how you are going to retransmit the data. So it is developed for the uplink in LTE advanced coordinated reception at multiple base station is transmitted signal and multiple geographical separated user equipment in different cells. Uplink multi-point transmitter reception are very limited impact on radio resource specification as uplink scheduling is performed at the base station. Coordinated interference cell scheduling can be applied to this control path. So this is all about your intercell interference coordination of the last module part which we have discussed. Okay. So this is all about your module 5 and today this will complete your 5 modules. Okay. So I'll just stop recording.